All right. I know a lot of you have asked me to do this, and I'm sorry I haven't gotten around to it. But I was in the process of planning and moving, and I'm back in my hometown of Port St. Lucie, Florida. Now, many of you wanted to know how I got the animated wallpaper effect working. And this is a neat little tool that is outdated and is no longer maintained, and it's for an older version of Ubuntu, but it is stable, and this works really well. I'm going to show you how to install X-Windrap and its GUI. We're going to do that right now on Spatry's Cup of Linux. Okay, let's begin. First, we're going to need to point our web browser to the Madness Mike PPA. Now, I was searching around and I was trying to find a good front end for Xwinwrap similar to what Zorin OS Ultimate had. And at one time, I purchased the Zorin OS Ultimate, and I loved the fact that it could do video wallpapers and that sort of thing. But this one will let us use screensavers too, which is really awesome. Now, this requires an older version of Ubuntu. 11.04 is the highest version that you can use for installing this PPA. So if you're still running 11.04, and you'd be crazy to because it's no longer supported, you could just add this PPA and then install this through Synaptic Package Manager. But we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to view the package files within this PPA and just download the debs individually. So I'm going to click on View Package Details. And some PPAs will actually let you do that. You can visit these pages on the Launchpad and just download the files into your system. Although, by not having the PPA installed, when your system updates, you won't get automatic updates. But this is great if you're looking to add a piece of software to your system that's stable but no longer supported. All right, now we're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, and we're going to select Xwinwrap 102 PPA Natty 1. Okay, and then from here, you will select the version that you need. In my case, okay, I downloaded the Natty 1 i386 deb because I'm running Linux Lite, which is a 32-bit operating system with a PAE kernel. However, if you're running a 64-bit operating system, maybe even the 64-bit version of Linux Lite, you want to get the AMD 64 deb right here. But I've already got the i386. And then when you're done downloading that, press Next. And then the next item you're going to grab is the Xwinwrap GUI 2.1.1-1 PPA Natty 1. Click on that one. And then you will get the 2.1.1-1 PPA Natty 1 all deb. And download that to your downloads directory, and then we're ready to rumble. Okay, now that we have those files downloaded, and there's a number of ways you can install these. Now, if you click on them individually, depending on which Ubuntu-based distribution you're using, you may have GDebi Package Installer, which will open these. You could click on Xwinwrap first, and then Xwinwrap GUI second, and then those will install. Or you could open these in the Ubuntu Software Center. Personally, I'd much rather just install these from the terminal because the command to issue into the terminal is really easy. So let's go ahead and open up our terminal here. If you want to have a terminal that looks like this, check out my Linux Mint 13 XFCE Bootcamp. I show you how to do fun stuff like this with your terminal. And in this case, instead of using Archie, I'm using ScreenFetch, which was suggested. And of course, I'm using Bashish to color up my my command line and that sort of thing. So if you want to check that out, be sure to head on over there into the Linux Mint 13 XSCE Bootcamp. Okay, the command we're going to issue is really simple. It is sudo dpkg -i for install, and then star.deb, and then press enter. It will ask you for your password. Okay. Wrong directory. Change directory to downloads. And then we will invoke sudo dpkg-i star.deb. Okay, and then it's going to go ahead and install those packages. It doesn't take much time, as you could see here, although I already had these installed. And then, in your menu, it will place an icon. Now, in my case, I like to keep my icons and everything that I'm going to be using regularly. So I actually just type a command to issue to run this. But I'm just using a search. By the way, I'm using Cardapio for those of you who are wondering what menu I'm using. A search on Web Update or on Google will tell you how to get it. And Xwinwrap GUI.gambus is what we want. Okay. Now, I've already got this set up to automatically launch a screensaver, or in this case, a video. And this video came from the Zorin Ultimate Edition. So if you want this particular video clip that I'm using, that is where you get it from. And I actually went into the file system and saved a copy of this. But you'll notice once the video started to launch, it hid my conky. But if you move your mouse over to where conky is and click on it, it will display again. Okay, now, in order to configure this, you right-click on the icon that it placed on your notification area, and you're going to need to terminate Xwinwrap, and it will stop the video from playing. And then you can choose a number of options. You can use a screensaver, for instance. And what this does is it automatically looks in your X-Screensaver directory, and you could choose any number of screensavers that you already have pre-installed on your system. So why don't we try GL Matrix as a screensaver. We'll select to open that. Okay, and then you will now see that we have the Matrix. By the way, I was watching that again last night. Love that film. Okay, and of course, if you want to use a video, we'll select Terminate Xwinwrap. We can right-click on this and select to use a video. And then I'll navigate to where I have my video file, which is right here. And have a look at some of the other options you get with this. We'll terminate Xwinwrap here, and then we can go to configure it. And it has a nice GUI configuration utility here. You can tell it to loop your videos, disable video sound, and you can have it remove the wallpaper while Xwinwrap is running. If you uncheck this, you can then change the opacity of that screensaver or video file. So let's say if you have a picture on your desktop background, you can now have, for instance, the matrix appearing in front of your wallpaper. Why don't we give that a try and see if that works? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the wallpaper, and let's go ahead and scale this down to maybe 60, 70%. Now, I've never tried this before, so you're experiencing this with me for the first time, because personally, I just wanted to use a video file. Okay, and then on, I have this selected to run below Windows. You can choose individual screensavers and have it change screensavers after a certain interval of minutes. And then, of course, you can have it change them randomly simply by using the plus button. You can add any screensavers that you want to use the matrix again. But you could add more of them if you wanted to there. Okay, on startup, you can tell it what you want it to do. You can tell it, don't run anything at startup. Run a screensaver at startup. Run a video at startup, which is what I have that selected at on my Space Windows Media Format file. And then you can run a screensaver list at startup. Why don't we select that one this time? and we'll select close. All right, now let's try that use screensaver function again. We'll run GL matrix and open that. Let's see what happens here. Okay, very nice. You can still see a little bit of my background wallpaper, and had to click on the conky again, but you can see my wallpaper is in the background with the screensaver displaying above that. How cool is that, huh? So there's a number of options you can use with this, definitely. But personally, I'm going to go back to my video. Bada boom. Well, there you have it. The quick, cut and dry, easy method of setting this up. I'll have more videos headed your way soon, now that I've got my studio set up and everything. Who knows, a nifty little tool that I created. It has a little cup of Linux on here, and it will keep you up to date every time I upload a video to my channel, and it has a nice little listing. It doesn't matter whether you use Firefox or Chrome OS, or Chrome browser, I should say. But yeah, nifty little plugin for you guys. So if you want, you can go ahead and click the link to that and have Spatry's Cup of Linux as a browser add-on. Well, that's all there is for now. We'll see you next time.